Question 16, we have a double box plot. Let me grab my page marker. Some reason it disappeared. Okay, the double box plot shows the daily low temperatures for a month for 2 cities. Use the information to determine which inference is not true. We want one that is false. Okay, so we've got 2 towns. All right, the daily low temperatures, 10 degrees. Okay, here we go. The spreads of the low temperatures for Raybould, I guess, and Picktown are not the same. The spreads of the low temperature, that's essentially meaning how low to how high they go. The spreads for the low temperature. Another way to say range, which means, as we've talked about, high minus the low. So if we take a peek, we've got the low for Raybould is 15. The high is 60. So for Raybould, we've got 60 minus 15, which gives us 45. And the other, it goes from 10 to, I don't know, I want to say that like 52, maybe, something like that, 53. 53 for Picktown minus 10 would give us 43. Now, it's not going to be exactly the same, right? Even if we estimated, because we would have chosen like 42. So false. They are not the same. We just proved that. They are not the same. They're close, but not quite. All right. If you're doing this at home, right, on paper and stuff, oh my gosh, don't erase it on your notebook paper. If you haven't already installed that PageMarker Chrome extension, good time to do it. Oh, wait, did you guys just notice something? Oh, wait, never mind. It says they are not the same. That's true. I think I just confused myself. This is why I used to always get so jumbled with these when I was a kid. That's why I put a big F, and then out to the side, I just remembered to put like a true or false next to it because I want one that's false. We just found out that one was true. Neither box plot is symmetrical. Symmetrical, right? Like same on both sides. If we draw a line down the middle, are they the same on both sides? Nope, neither one is. So that is a true statement, so it's not one we want. Little nuggets. The median low temperature for Raybould and Picktown are different. Remember, median is the number inside our box. Are they different? They are the same. False. It's probably going to be the one we're going to choose, but we're not going to choose it just yet, just in case we goof. The low extreme, that's these nuggets, for Picktown is approximately 5 degrees lower than the extreme. Ooh, see how it said approximately, so it might not be exact. That looks like that's true. All right, so H is our correct answer for 16. Oh, double box plots. All right, the double box plot shows the amount of money spent by Sheila and Susan on their last 10 shopping trips. What is the difference in the interquartile ranges? All right, interquartile is a fancy word for the box. Okay, so this means we want the difference of the interquartile ranges for both of them. So that means we want the high minus the low. And you'll see how this one is not exact. So in your answer, I've given you some wiggle room because it doesn't have tick marks or things like that on it, which I don't think is necessarily the best, but as long as you got somewhere pretty close to it. So on here, I'm going to say this is maybe 73. If you said 72, that's okay too. 73 minus 40, that gives us, what, 33? And then for this one's nice. This one goes from 20 to 30, so that's, from 10 to 30, which is a difference of 20. So we should get something like around 13, right? So again, the interquartile ranges. That means we needed the range of this box, which was from 40 to about 72, 10, 20, 32, or 33, minus this one over here, which was 10, 20, 33-ish, minus 20, give us 13. If you typed in 12 or you typed in 14, you should get credit for this one. All right, let's look at the next one, number 18. You got some review questions. Which pair of numbers are equivalent? Equal, equivalent, equal. Which one can you get rid of like immediately? There are two that I hope you can immediately. I hope immediately you said J. 9/10 is a lot. If you ate 9/10 of a pizza, you pretty much ate like a whole pizza. If you ate 9% of a pizza, you pretty much ate nothing. Or put it into terms of a test, right? If you got 9 out of 10 questions on a test, you did awesome. If you got 9% on a test, you definitely needed to go back and study. Those are definitely not equal. 4/10. I hope you also got rid of this one because 4/10 is pretty close to half. You guys, is 4/100, is 4 pennies close to half of a dollar? Not even close. Even read them, right? 4/10, 4/100. We don't read them the same. All right, let's look at G. We've got 7/100 and 7%. Now, you guys, you tell me. We know that percents are out of 100. 7/100, 7/100. Booyah, there we are. Our last one is 16/100 and 1/6. And so if you're not quite sure about this one, because if we think about 1/5, that's, 20/100. Maybe you're thinking this is one we might have to sort out. Top dog goes to the house, denominator at the door, and divide, right? 6 goes into 1, 0 times. So we're going to add a decimal and a 0 to keep our division problem going. 6 goes into 10 one time. Add a 0, bring it down. 6 goes into 40. 6 times. That's 36. Do you see a pattern here? Aha, it's never going to end. So it's actually super, super close, but it's not exact because the 16/100, it ends. 1/6 as a decimal is going to go on forever. It's never going to end. So they're not equal. They're very close, but not exactly. All right, 19. 3 students wrote a relationship between decimal fractions or percents. Max wrote 75% equals 3/5. Bernice wrote 5/100 equals 50%, and Leanne wrote 3/8 equals 375 thousandths. Who wrote a correct equation? Who can we get rid of quickly? I hope you said Bernice. Going back to basics, treating it like money, right? This is 5 cents. Is 5 cents close to half a dollar? Goodness gracious, no. It is closer to $0. So Bernice is out. So it can't be all of them. Now let's see if we can get rid of anybody else. Let's take a peek at Maxine. She said 75%. And we know percents are out of 100. So let's see, is that equal to 3 out of 5? Well, how do we get from 100 to 5? We divide by 20. Is 75 divided by 20, 3? It's not. It's actually equal to 3/4, right? 75 cents. 3/4 make a dollar. So Max is also incorrect. So it can't be Max. So let's see. Maybe good old Leanne. All right. So for this one, if you don't remember what 1/8 is as a decimal, don't sweat it. We can lean on what we know, that the fraction bar means to divide. So take that top dog, put it in the house, denominator at the door, and just do your quick little division problem. 8 goes into 3, 0 times. So we're going to add a decimal and a 0 to keep it going. 8 goes into 30 3 times, because that gives us 24. Sister tells us to subtract. You got to add another 0. Keep it going. 8 goes into 60 7 times, because that is 56. Oh my gosh, another 0. Remember, we stop when we have no remainder, we see a pattern, or we get to 3 decimal places and we end it. And that goes in 5 times, and it goes in evenly. So, woohoo! Leanne saved the day. Leanne was the only one who got that one correct. So we used, common sense for this one. We used just basic simplifying rules for this one, and we proved this one by actual math proof, right? Quick division problem. All right, number 20. Which of the following represents a rational number that is not an integer? Rational numbers include fractions, decimals, and percents with values, right? An integer would be like negative 12, something like that. All right, so let's take a peek. We've got negative 10 divided by 2. Well, that is negative 5. So that's not it. Well, 6, technically it's an integer, but we're looking for something that has a fraction, decimal, or percent, so nope, which means we can also get rid of D. Negative 16 divided by 3. Well, you guys, let's think about it. 3 goes into 16 5 times with 1 left over. Bada bing, bada boom. You guys, we have a fraction. Our answer is C. We needed a basic understanding, though, of what makes a rational number rational. That was really important for this one. All right, number 21. The shaded model represents 100%. So that means 1 bar equals 100%. Which model represents 33 1/3? Well, you guys, I am looking at 2 answer choices that we can immediately get rid of, because this is 100%. This is 100%. This is 100%. And this is extra. These are 300% and more. 300% and more. Immediately, I'm getting rid of B and D, because there's no way it can be 33% when it has more than one whole. So now we're looking at 1/3. I'm going to do different colors for these. I'm going to do one in blue, one in purple. So we've got 1/3. And actually, let's do them both in purple. And 1, 2, 3 out of 10. Okay, so let's come up with a percentage for 3/10. 3/10 as a percent is times 10, 30%. Exactly. Not more, not less. It's not exactly 33 1/3, which leaves us with 1/3. Now think about it. 1/3 as a decimal, remember, is decimal 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. It repeats nonstop forever. That's how we get, remember, 1, 2 to turn it into a percentage, 33 and 1/3 repeating, or 33 and 3/10 repeating forever. Or we could write it as 33 and just 1/3%. So bada bing, bada boom. 1/3 is exactly 33 1/3%. Answer choice A is close, but it is not exact, right? 3/10 is equal to 30% exactly. So it cannot be the correct answer for this one. It's close, but not close enough. All right. Miss Cotner kept track of the high and low temperature during the month. The highest temperature during the month was, boom, 30 degrees. The lowest temperature during the month was -9. Put a 0 there because it goes from positive to negative. What was the difference between the high and the low temperature? So 2 ways we can look at it. I want us to think about it with reasonableness, though, right? Because to go from 30 to -9 means we have to go from 30 to 0, which is 30. But we also have to make up this distance right here, which is 9, right? 9 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, blah, 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 30, right? So to get the whole distance, we're going to have to add them together, which sounds weird, right? But in this case, we're talking about like an absolute value sentence for these. Dig back into the brain for that one. But we could also write it just like it's asking the difference between the high and the low. The difference between the high and the low. That means 30 minus -9. Two negatives make a positive. So again, it's just 30 plus 9, just 39. Is that our last one? Yep, and we've got some extra here for practice.